call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, gotta fill up.
All right, what is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Juggernaut Show. Today, I'm here to give you my WWE Backlash 2025 review. And before I get started with this review, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there holding it down. Because listen, if it wasn't for you mothers out here, there wouldn't be any of us. So thank you to everyone who's being a mother out there. Thank you very much. All right, now that I got that out of the way, Backlash was this past Saturday, May 10th, 2025, from good old St. Louis, Missouri, Randy Orton's hometown. Now, going into the show, I didn't really have a whole lot of high expectations going into the show. But leaving the show, my expectations were through the roof. Like, this was a solid show. This is probably the second best show of the year, in my opinion. I mean, I was expecting the main event, with Randy Orton and John Cena to be really good. But like, there wasn't, like, in the middle of the card, there wasn't anything that was screaming, oh, this is going to be an amazing show. But no, going out of the show, yeah, this was very good. So let's quit wasting time and let's get started with this review. So the first match that kicked off Backlash, we had the United States title on the line. We had all gas, no brakes. Jacob Fatu defended the title against L.A. Knight. Yeah. And you had Damian Priest and you had Drew McIntyre in this match. As Jacob Fatu likes to say, all gas, no brakes. Well, this match here was all gas, no brakes. I mean, this was what I expected it to be. I mean, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, they went in a lot in this match because they had a personal feud going on. And then Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, they kind of split up throughout the match. I mean, every guy did what they needed to do in this match. You had one point where they were all hitting their finishers. Jacob Fatu, I mean, he's so over right now with the crowd. He was doing a lot of amazing stuff in this match. There was one spot that was kind of scary where Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, they were fighting in the crowd. They're fighting near production. And then they climbed on top of this, I don't know, this sub-production thing. And Drew McIntyre, he got south of heaven through these tables. And it looks like the back of his head hit the floor pretty bad. So hopefully Drew McIntyre is recovering from this. Hopefully he's not really injured from this. Like, hopefully he took it safely. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty crazy spot in the match. Of course, we had some interference with the bloodline. We had Solo Sikoa try to come out and help Jacob Fatu. LA Knight was about to hit like a elbow drop through the announce table, but like I said, Solo came out. I was expecting Solo to be here. But then the most surprising thing we had in this match, we had the debut of Jeff Cobb. Yes, Jeff Cobb is now in WWE. He gave a big old clothesline to LA Knight, hit him on the ring post and stuff, and then Jacob Fatu then he took advantage and retained his United States Championship. But Jacob Fatu, he was really, really confused here, like, what the hell is this guy doing here? Like, he was very confused, like his facial expressions. Like, you're adding another guy into the bloodline, because Jacob Fatu, he wanted to do it himself. He doesn't want Solo's help. So, like I said, we got another guy into the bloodline, even though he's not Samoan. He's from the island somewhere. I mean, you just have to be from an island. That's where you gotta be to be a part of the bloodline now. But no, it's cool to see Jeff Cobb here. It's gonna be interesting to see where the story goes. I definitely see some more tensions building up between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Maybe a match between them, with both of them at SummerSlam. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely this was a fun match. All right. Then the next match we had was the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. We had Lyra Valkyria defending the title against Becky Lynch. Now, going into this match, I really wasn't looking forward to it all that much. I got Becky Lynch is going to win here. But no, Becky Lynch did not win this match. Lyra Valkyria retained, which I was happy to be wrong here. I was very happy to be wrong. Both women, they had really good chemistry in the ring, like the different counters that they were doing. And Lyra Valkyria, she was very technical in this match. She was doing like the surfboard special, it seems like the Daniel Bryan special. That's what she was doing. She was twisting Becky Lynch up like a pretzel in this match. That was pretty cool. Becky Lynch, she was had a lot of aggression in this match. She did a lot of heel tactics, even tried to take the turnbuckle off. And she did take the turnbuckle off. And of course, the referees, they're blind to everything. They don't see what's going on. But then 5 minutes later, oh, that turnbuckle's off. And you had a lot of those shenanigans in the match here. Like I said, a lot of counters to each move here, which was really good. What else do we have? There's one point where Lyra Valkyria, she went in face first into the turnbuckle, and it looks like she kind of busted up her nose, or they said on commentary that she broke her nose, but I don't know if it was at that part. But yeah, her she was holding her nose towards the end of the match. But no, like I said, the counters were great in this match. Transitions were fine. I mean, this was really fun. It's fine. It's cool to see Lyra, getting the shine now. They're actually letting her talk on the microphone, which is a good thing. But no, Lyra Valkyria, she retains by doing a little roll up onto the good old devastating roll up onto Becky Lynch, and then after the match, Becky Lynch, she went on to attack Lyra, put the disarmor on her. That's how this ended. So it looks like this is going to continue more. I was kind of expecting that we were going to see maybe Bayley interfere in this match, but I'm happy we didn't get Bayley here. Maybe we might get her on Monday Night Raw or something. Because after all the shit that Becky Lynch was talking about Bayley, I'm pretty sure Bayley's going to get involved in this. And especially that she got taken out of WrestleMania, she's definitely going to be getting involved. But yeah, this was a really fun match. This was probably, to be honest, my favorite match of the night, in my opinion. But yeah, we move on to the next match, which we had was the Intercontinental Championship match. We had Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, defending the title against Penta. Seattle, Miedo. Yes. Listen, I gotta say, Dom has really been growing on me for quite a while now, and fans are really behind him. He's getting that good reactions, and they're definitely gonna be turning Dom babyface eventually. No, this match was so good. That tope that Dom hit into a DDT onto the outside of the ring, that was a really nice spot in the match. Penta, he hit a pretty cool Mexican destroyer on the apron. That was a really nice spot. A lot of lucha things in this match, which was really nice. But of course, you had a lot of shenanigans. Of course, you had the Judgment Day come out. You had Carlito distracting the referee, and then you had JD McDonough coming out there and Finn Balor. Finn Balor tried grabbing a steel chair, but Finn Balor was just taking way too long. Finn Balor, he's kind of been slimy as of late. He's kind of hard to trust right now. But they got ejected. More shenanigans were going on. Looks like Finn Balor left the ringside, but no, he came back out to distract the referee more. And then we had none other than Grande Americano show up. He had his mask on, had the thing like the metal plate, in his mask. Hits Penta with it, with a headbutt, and then Dom takes advantage, gets the 1, 2, 3, and still the Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio. Dirty Dom is still your champion. I wasn't expecting Grande Americano to be out here. Yeah, I mean, this is probably the second best match tonight, or actually, I'll say third. But no, this was definitely some fun stuff here. I really enjoyed it. All right, next match we had was Pat McAfee going up against the Ring General Gunther. I gotta say, this match, I thought this match was gonna be a lot shorter than what it was. Like this match nearly got 15 minutes in the match. I mean, there were some points where like they for the first few minutes of the match where they didn't touch each other. But I gotta say, Pat McAfee, he really showed a lot of fight in this match. And the athleticism. I mean, we already knew that Pat McAfee is really athletic. You know, there was one point where he tried to do a moonsault onto Gunther in the match, but he landed on his feet, and then Gunther tried to hit a suplex on him, but once again, Pat McAfee landed on his feet. And Pat was hitting some nice PKs, hitting some nice punt kicks onto Gunther. Of course, Pat McAfee's chest was looking red after those chops. And then, of course, they were trying to get Michael Cole involved with this. Gunther told Michael Cole, "Hey, come on in the ring. You want some of this? Come get in the ring." Of course, Michael Cole, you know, he was trying to be like a cheerleader for Pat McAfee here. We even had Michael Cole getting involved, trying to hold down the legs while Pat McAfee was pinning Gunther. So I mean, that was pretty cool. But ultimately, Gunther would end up winning here. I mean, this was no surprise to me that Gunther won. I mean, I like the fight that Pat McAfee had, but this match did not need to be that many minutes long, like nearly 15 minutes, like I said. But ultimately, Pat McAfee passes out to the sleeper, and Gunther wins. So I guess we'll see where Gunther goes after this. But hey, I really enjoyed this, you know, for what it was. But yeah, we'll move on to the main event, which we had was the one last time we had Randy Orton going up against the undisputed WWE champion John Cena. This was, of course, for the undisputed championship. Yeah, this was definitely what I expected this match to be. You know, it was a slow, methodical match from like both guys. You know, he has some vintage Randy Orton here. You know, hitting his draping DDT. He had some mind games from like John Cena. He like kind of slapped Orton at the beginning of the match. You even had Cena trying to run away. You know, being the heel that Cena is right now. What else? You had a lot of the match. You know, it was slow at some points. You even had Randy Orton, you know, doing the stomps on the John Cena. I mean, you know, like a lot of throwbacks here. A lot of throwbacks. Of course, we had a lot of shenanigans in this match. You had a good old ref bump, like early on in the match, which we didn't just have one ref bump. We had two ref bumps. There was like one it was like on the outside of the ring. Was it on the outside? No. The first one, yeah, there was like 3 ref bumps in this match, which was crazy. You know, I mean, it was what I was expecting here to happen in this match. You know, you had Cena knocking out the referee with the title belt. You had a whole bunch of Nick Aldis and a whole bunch of other production people come out. Nick Aldis took an RKO from Nick Aldis got an RKO. Jamie Noble got an RKO. A whole bunch of those production guys got RKOs. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. But the best interference that we had of the whole night, we had good old R-Truth come out. Ron Truth Killings, he came out because you know he's a big John Cena fan. You know he's friends with John Cena, you know, the greatest of all time. Yeah, R-Truth took an RKO. Randy Orton didn't want to do it to him, but he did. And then you had a little low blow from John Cena. And then of course you had the AA and still the WWE champion, undisputed WWE champion, John Cena. So, I mean, I was expecting all this shenanigans to go down. I mean, I'm happy that we didn't get Travis Scott here, even though I am a big Travis Scott fan. You know, he's over, I think, in Italy or something like that. So, you know, we had to get R-Truth here, which, you know, that's setting up for what we're going to begin at Saturday night's main event. Because, of course, on the press conference, we had R-Truth come out there and like interrupt Cena. I mean, he's trying to praise Cena on all that. It looks like Cena was trying to turn babyface a little bit, but no, he wasn't. He was doing all big ruse, and then he gave R-Truth an attitude adjustment through a table during a press conference. So that's setting up, like I said, their match for Saturday night's main event, which is going to be very interesting. I mean, this is giving me flashbacks to 2011 Capital Punishment. Little Jimmy, we're going to have little Jimmy back. We're going to get a little Jimmy back in this feud here. I would have never thought that we would get R-Truth and John Cena going at it again in 2025. Like if you would have told me that last year, I would have laughed at you. I would have laughed at you. But yeah, Cena retained, which came to no surprise here. Definitely, it was a solid match. It was fun stuff. A whole bunch of AAs, and you had a lot of counters, like into like different finishers. Like you had an AA counter into an RKO. You even had John Cena trying to mock Randy Orton in this match. He like looked like he was going to do the punt kick onto Randy Orton. But yeah, Backlash was. I give it 2 thumbs up. It was definitely it was a fun show. So that was my review. Definitely go down in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of WWE Backlash for 2025. And also, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, hit that subscribe button. That really helped me out a lot. Also, turn that notification bell on to be notified every time I make a new video. And also, hit that like button to help out my videos in the algorithm. And go check out all my other videos I got on here. I got vlogs, I got reviews, I got Dana Lifes, I got predictions. I got everything professional wrestling. But yeah, this is your boy Juggernaut, and I will see you guys in my next video. So peace out.